Okay, 1600 Sky, that's good. Interesting, so they're just going to try and bulk out things completely. Reasonable. So because of that, I can surely spore through them, right? So my Baxcalibur looks brilliant. I'll leave it in the back so it doesn't get intimidated. I think I might go with Fluttermane and Brute Bonnet. That seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, Baxcalibur in the back. Definitely not my Gyarados. That Zoomerl is... it's alright. But Chi-Yu isn't great either. Yeah, I'm going to go with Zoomerl. I think it looks better to me than Chi-Yu. I could bring Chi-Yu just to boost my Fluttermane a bit. And that might be how I need to start using Chi-Yu a bit more, but Zoomerl seemed better. I'm fine with that. That seems pretty reasonably. Oh, they Terra Grass on the Iron Hands. What is the best way to do it? Because I'm sporing and... Am I Moonblasting or am I subbing? Because if they're Terra Grass, it's a wasted spore. If I sub and spore the Grimmsnarl, it's definitely not a wasted spore. So I will do that. Perfect. This is a good start. I am quite content with this as a start. So now it's, do I take care of the Grimmsnarl? It's got to be like Belly Drum or Swords Dance, right? I can surely just double into this Iron Hands at this point. And I'm going for Bullet Seed just for extra damage in case they are Terra Grass. And they might be Safety Goggles as well. Like if they're Swords Dance Safety Goggles, I'm just covering for this. This seems optimal. Obviously Spore is optimal if I get it off, but Moonblast and Bullet Seed should put it in range of Moonblast if it does go for a defensive Terra. Unless it's Fire. Fire would be the only bad one. Could have spored the Grimmsnarl on the switch in. That would have been okay as well. Yeah, would have been okay. Does seem like it, doesn't it? Oh, Mousehold's going to really help out. That's good for them. There's the defensive Terra. Okay, is it Grass? It was Fire, so that's one of the worst cases. So I should have spored. It's alright, I'm going to start chipping away. That's Chip. that's Chip. Friend Guard and Light Screen as well. Alright, let's get this Chip going. Right, did they rate the sub? They do not, okay. So I think they might recover everything that I just did. Almost. And the lefties as well. Alright, so that was a completely pointless turn for me, and I absolutely could have spored. So I'm going to Protect and Moonblast. Do I Terra? No, I don't want to be able to be Drain Punched. Because I'd need Terra to... No, I wouldn't because it's Light Screen, so it's better to just do 2 regular old Moonblasts. They didn't protect the Mousehold, which is very good for me. Just follow me, that's good, because now it's definitely Moonblast into the Mousehold and Spore next turn. Assumingly this is a 2-shot. If it's not, then I do need to Terra. I do need to Terra. So I will do so now. And if I miss the KO for not Terraing initially, I'm going to be quite sad. And I almost did not Terra. Let's just make sure I'm doing the right move. Spore, because it could be safe to go in the mouse hold as well. So Spore that, Terror, and Moonblast, mouse holds. Like, it did just under half. This should almost certainly tip it over the edge. Grimstar hasn't taken any turns of sleep as well, which is quite nice. Nice and strong. There we go. And I've already seen that I'm faster with the Brute Bonnet. Don't be a speed type, please. Okay, good. So obviously Sporing previously would have been better than Bullet Seeding and Moonblasting because that achieved nothing because of the Drain Punch. And Gastrodon. Well, that's not switching. So I will merely Bullet Seed you, and I will Hex. Because I can Hex now, and that's significantly more damage. I'm still behind a sub, aren't I? I am, nice. And they just let me Bullet Seed. Very kind of them. That's noticeably more. Big damage. So things are looking pretty good right now. And the wake up isn't even that bad. Because I will simply Spore again, but they get the high roll. So I won't. Now, do they even have Thunder Punch? I'm not sure they would, given their Terra Fire. They might have Fire Punch instead as their coverage, because they're going to have a setup move. There's no way their lefties and just coverage moves. So, yeah, I'll go Azumarill. I will just double the Grimmsnarl, because then there is no Reflect. And then Azumarill and Batskaliber definitely win. So this is one of the issues of trying to, like, bulk it out. If you don't, like, have enough offense, then what are you going to do? I just break through your defensiveness because you just aren't doing anything to me. And they haven't reflected, so this combination should surely KO. Yeah, the combination should surely KO. And I went for Liquidation as well instead of Play Rough, like accuracy, and also it's redirected now. So that's huge damage. So good. And it did have Thunder Punch, okay. So Terrify was just to avoid Game Bird. And it's a pretty good typing as well. But that went pretty smoothly. And the sub was never broken as well, which is quite funny. Okay, fine. Going for the DC win condition. Like, I know you're getting more leftovers recovery, but just accept your loss. They protected, so I'm going to protect. That's what I tend to do. If I can afford to protect when they just protected for no reason, then I will do so. Just to remind them that it's pointless. But that's good. Told you this is the start of the true point now. Oh no, the character just appeared because it was hiding behind Iron Hands the whole time. I actually know what my, like, stop points would be. Because I've seen on Twitter that, like, 1720-ish, I think, was top 200 and something. And that's going to have a reasonable amount of Japanese and Korean players. Like, I've got 20 games left, and I don't tend to play all 45. I do tend to settle. So, like, middle of the 1600s is not bad. And that's the 1700s, guys, so we take those. And it's just a Dondozo. So I am Usually pretty good against it. Do I lead with Brute Bonnet here if it is Chi-Yu and Fluttermane? Because Azumarill is not bad here. Yeah, I might go with Azumarill by Excalibur instead of Brute Bonnet. I need to keep in mind the Wo-Chien, though. That does need to be kept in mind. So, like, Azumarill and Excalibur do okay against it. Fluttermane does okay against it, for sure. But, yeah, the Wo-Chien's actually throwing some things off. Let me just reconsider quick. Still definitely leading with Excalibur, it's still great. I will do what I was planning to do. Like, I might need to bring Chi-Yu just for Wo-Chien, but too late now. That's a cool training card. Happens to be my one. Ah, immediate Wo-Chien. Interesting. So all attacks are weakened, so I'm not threatening much here, am I? So what to do? So if I double the Wo-Chien and it just immediately switches to Tatsugiri, it's not ideal. So they won't. Like so. Good. I'm very content to hopefully have dealt with this Wo-Chien immediately. Azumarill. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly, Play Rough. Okay, good. Nice. That's a good start. I was worried about the Wo-Chien, and now I'm no longer worried about the Wo-Chien. That's scary straight away. So that's a good start. I'm fine with half HP. I'm like, Excalibur's in range of Dondozo now, but that's fine. It is absolutely correct to switch into whatever is not Tatsugiri, especially if you're intending to now switch into Tatsugiri. So, I believe the correct thing to do is to switch to Gyarados. And even though it is now turning into Tatsugiri, I don't need the extra chip from Azumarill. This covers the Chi-Yu staying in. Like, this was always going to happen, but now I get the Intimidate onto the Dondozo. I'm in the position I want to be. Now I just need to wait until... I should sacrifice Excalibur, for sure. Excalibur's the one I need to sacrifice. So it should have really... Like, obviously that was switching into Tatsugiri. Like, they're playing Dondozo correctly by Chi-Yu, then Tatsugiri. But, yeah, I should have switched the Azumarill around with the Gyarados and sacrificed the Excalibur. But then it goes slightly wrong if they stay in with Chi-Yu, if they do that. So this was safer, but not correct. And it is Clear Amulet. Okay. Just EQ. Okay. Oh, that's a dirty roll. It did 100, and I have 101 remaining. As long as I get the Thunder Wave into this, then I'm okay. Don't have sub. Clear Amulet is an interesting one. I could Terra Grass. Is there anything else I'm going to Terra? Is it worth preserving the Azumarill just to help against Chi-Yu? It should be, right? So I'm going to Thunder Wave, and I'm going to switch to Excalibur. And if Excalibur survives the turn, wonderful. Don't you dare have sub. You don't have sub with Clear Amulet, because you use sub to block Intimidates as well. You don't need sub. Terror is fine. If it's Terror Electric, my plan is completely screwed. Flying is acceptable. Gyarados should live the flying. Come on, Gyarados. You didn't intimidate it, but you're definitely still living. Yeah, and now just hit. If you hit, then I'm sorted. If you miss, then things are not looking good right now. Good. So now, is it correct to Terra Blast? Because I could still just Glade Rush, and that's fine. Because I can also just I can Waterfall or I can Helping Hand. Waterfall means that they've got like a 40% chance to flinch or get paralyzed. One of them. I can Iron Head to tip the odds slightly more in my favor, but I don't particularly need the Gyarados anymore, and I don't need a Terror on anything else. So I think I should Terra Blast. And I will Helping Hands to do that. Yeah, I don't see any need for any other Terra. And if they Terra Blast the Baxcalibur, like rather than EQing, then that's even better. So long as I hit the Thunder Wave into the Tatsugiri as the Dondozo's KO'd. So let's see how much this does. This should still chunk it a lot. Over half is a chunk. And they did EQ, so fair enough. But now I'll do my regular old tactic of Iron Head and sub until I get behind a sub for sure. If they Terra Flying my Gyarados on the first turn, I'm still behind a sub, then Gyarados gets KO'd, Hex KOs the Dondozo, and Play Rough KOs the Tatsugiri, and then I'm fine. So, this is still all good. Because I could immediately just Hex and Thunder Wave, but that risks the 90%. Whereas, like, obviously if Gyarados gets KO'd by Terra Flying on this turn, I still have to risk a 90% with Play Rough, but then I've still put the odds more in my favour for going for this Power Flinch first. So, because I know they're not lefties, I can get away with this. Because they're definitely in Hex range. I will just do exactly the same play next turn. There's no reason not to do exactly the same thing until I get my sub. Okay, now they're Terra Blasting, so I have to hit a Play Rough. Can I get away with Ice Spinner? No, Play Rough is correct. It just is. Like, the odds have been in my favour for this, like, to have Power Flinched at least once out of the twice, or just to hit a Play Rough. Like, if I don't hit the Play Rough, then that was the game just saying I'm not allowed to win this one. Because, like, I played, like, the odds so far in my favour. So, Moonblast, and Hex. Just make sure, like, I'm always just double checking I've made the right things, and then Hex. And even if I miss, I should still be okay. Because Icy Wind won't break my sub. And if they are, well, if they're Focus Sash and Choice Scarf on the Chi-Yu. But then can they even deal with my Azumarill at this point? Okay, it hits, it's not a concern. And they weren't Sash on the Tatsugiri anyway, so. Yeah, I still think the Dondozo matchup is generally in my favour, which is a good match to have. Good match up is the word I'm looking for, to have in your favour. So now it is merely Aquajet and Moonblast, and there is nothing they can do. Even if Snarl KOs my Flutter Mane through the sub for some reason. But they weren't even Choice Scarf, like the Tatsuki probably was. That might have been Focus Sash, so Aquajet was still correct. But yeah, good. I'm still happy with the Iron Head's Power Flinch strategy until I get my sub. Even though it didn't work, it was still fine because of Azumarill. That was a 1700 guy as well, right? So yeah, that's a decent rating. I reckon I might stop if I break into the top 500, because then that would probably be top 256, given that that's a good rating. That half of them are probably Japanese players / Koreans. Okay, legit team. So Azumarill is brilliant. Like, Azumarill is so good here. Could just go Chi-Yu Flutter Mane. What's stopping that? Ting Lu, probably. So I can Terra Ghost with my Chi-Yu if it is Dragonites. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then a Azumarill in the back. Okay, so Gyarados is fine. Brute Bonnets. It's kind of meh. Excalibur is not too bad. I will bring back Excalibur. Might be a bad idea leading with my quote-unquote 2 ghosts. Because if Dragonite just waits in the back, it might be able to sweep through me if Chi-Yu Flutter Mane is broken through. That's a cool trainer card. It was just Dragonite, so... Oh, it should be a Terra Ghost here, right? I don't know if there's Snarl or anything yet. Is it better to Dark Pulse and just ignore Dragonites? But if I Dark Pulse and then Gem Power comes... No, it should be okay. I will Terra Ghost. And this should two-shot the Arcanine. Unless they Snarl. And Hex won't get it. Hex might get it. I'm gonna sub. Okay, so waste of a Terra Ghost. And if they Snarl here, that's worst case. They've got 2 support Pokemon here, like Mousehold and Arcanine. They Flare Blitz the Chi-Yu, that might KO, and that would be quite a big play. But if they Snarl here, it's now super effective against the Chi-Yu as well. It's alright, I'll just flinch it, it's fine. Told you. I deserve that, to be fair. Like, I do deserve it. So if I Dark Pulse the Arcanine, it forces to follow me. Any reason to switch about? I think I'll just do the same thing. And I will Moonblast the Mousehold. That seems fine. That was a good turn. Like, follow me was always going to happen. So does Flare Blitz KO the Chi-Yu? Who knows? Get a crit and then just OHKO it, and then... No, not quite. But Mousehold being KO'd is very good. Arcanine's in Aquajet range as well, so if they do get a KO here, I just go into Azumarill. And if they go into Dragonite, they can't lock into Extreme Speed. Does this KO? Because I am no bulk. It does not KO. Gets a burn. Does not get a burn. That's good. And now they are definitely in Hex range as well, because they Flare Blitz recoiled themselves. So that's good. There's Dragonites. That's alright, because they can't Extreme Speed here. So it's the best way around to do it. It should be Dark Pulse the Arcanine and Moonblast the Dragonite, right? Unless they whip out the Aqua Jet on the Dragonite, but then if they lock themselves into Aqua Jet, I don't really care. Like, that would be fine. Oh, it's just terrifying. Fair enough. That's okay. Do they have Protect on Arcanine? They do. Fair enough. I'm not too concerned. Might be better to double Dragonite actually, because I can just Aqua Jet Arcanine whenever I want. And then it would have broken the multiscale and may have even KO'd. Wow. Would have KO'd. Wow. What? Oh, there's Tailwind. But now they're, like, I just Aqua Jet. It's fine. And Ice Shard. So I think I just sacrifice Chi-Yu here and Protect. Because then I can go into... Yeah, I can then go into Azumarill, Aqua Jet KO the Arcanine, and Moonblast KO the Dragonite. So, yeah, I will attempt to Dark Pulse the... Yeah, the Dragonite. I won't, and then I will Protect it. But this is still a very strong position, even with the Tailwind. Shame I didn't Dark Pulse the Dragonite, but, you know, I think I'm still perfectly fine. And if they double the Flutter Mane, then I'm even more sorted. That's fair enough. I could have got away with it just a double attack there, to be fair. But I definitely did not need it. Oh, it's Lightfall. And they're in range of one more, right? Pretty sure. Yeah, so it should be Baxcalibur here. Because then I don't get Flying Terror Blasted on my Azumarill. To be fair, I could have gone into Azumarill there, but then Baxcalibur can't be burned, so I will Ice Shard the Dragonites. I will Hex the Arcanine. That was always going to happen, but it's not enough. Oh, yeah, of course they just KO themselves. So now Ice Shard gets redirected into the Arcanine. They should KO my Baxcalibur with Flare Blitz, maybe. It'll be close. But then they have to beat substituted Flutter Mane and full HP Azumarill with whatever's in the back, and I don't think they can. Yep, and now they have to 3v1, and I don't think they can. Can't even remember what they had. Oh, nice crit. That was lucky. Needed that. Oh, there's my computer overheating again. Yep, just Flutter Mane. They've got no chance. I will Ice Shard. Last time Tailwind, right? Yep. So it is most optimal to Ice Shard and Protect. Because then Ice Shard and Aqua Jet should KO them. And this just means that they've got no chance of OHKOing Azumarill. Because, like, Dazzling Gleam critical hit could KO. Who knows? Yeah, it's a Volpe one. Probably Specs. And just Dazzling Gleam, so. I don't think the Protect was necessarily necessary. Don't know why I chose both of those words after one after the other, but yeah, Azumarill in the back still just wins. And I might just outspeed the Flutter Mane anyway, so. So I will Liquidation. I will Hex. Hex is only just stronger than Moonblast, by the way. Like, if I Terra Fairy, I think that is. To, like, Terra Fairy is only just weaker than Hex on a super effective hit. I wasn't Terra'd, so that was a pointless fact. But that's a good one. Told you, this is the true streak.